inside. Oh, fire. Oh, fire. Oh, fire. Oh, fire, fire, fire. Hey! Ain't nobody living in a perfect world. Everybody's out there crying to be heard. But I got a new fire burning my heart, lighting up the darkness and moving like a meteorite. Oh, fire. Oh, fire. Oh, fire. Oh, fire, fire, fire. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed by faith. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed by faith. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed by faith. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed by faith. Now I believe. Oh, fire. Oh, fire. Oh, fire. Oh, fire, fire, fire. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed by faith. Hi, welcome back to ReneMarie Stroke of Luck. Oh, I got the wrong thing. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out what me and my BBW are doing here. How are you? It's ReneMarie from ReneMarie Stroke of Luck, a TV show. We're so happy to have this opportunity. 2 shows in one day. Thank you to Jim at Village Connection, giving us the opportunity to really broaden our work in the world. You know, because doing a show every Sunday really took a lot of time and energy, so now we're combining it to every other week, 2 shows, giving us the opportunity every other Sunday to go out in the world and to do personal work and to do other shows. And it really is important to expand our work. But this is a really important show. They're all important. But this one we thought was important because we wanted everybody to understand that strokes and aphasia could hit home. My stroke happened over 30 years ago, so it really, you know, it's a distance. I always try to keep it close to my heart so I don't forget what my purpose is, and I believe that's why God left me a little with a little reminder on my right side, so that I don't forget what I'm supposed to be doing in my life. But this hit home once again. I think it was in 2017 Bobby had, how many strokes did you have, Bobby?
3.
3 strokes. He really made I believe a full recovery, not full recovery, but he was good. He was singing, he was driving, he was being Bobby. As only he could be. That was Cathy, who'll come on the show later on. But then a few weeks ago, how many weeks ago, Bobby? How many weeks ago, Cathy? 3 weeks?
Right after Thanksgiving.
Right after Thanksgiving. Right after Thanksgiving, Bobby suffered his 4th stroke. So we wanted to bring this to our show to let everyone know that it does hit home. And that's why we want to bring the information to you so that you could be aware of the signs and really bring hope to those who have suffered multiple strokes. In my press, I put how hard it is. I remember how much energy, Bobby, share if I'm incorrect, how much energy it took to really recover the first time.
It took quite a bit of energy, actually.
Yeah. And, go ahead. It took a lot of energy, and it took a lot of hard work, a lot of hard work to get back to the place where you have a stroke, after a stroke, or after any illness, but after a stroke. And it really does something to the mind as well. Not only is a stroke a brain attack, but it kind of awakens you.
Yes, and scrambles your brain.
And scrambles your brain, but it awakens you where it kind of frightens you. It kind of like puts you in gist of what is important in life. And I was just thinking about this last night because my 88-year-old neighbor passed away. And my grandmother, 96, she was 88. So we're comfortable with her passing, but we were talking, her kids and myself, while we were there, and we were saying that, the truth is it can happen to anybody at any specific time. You don't have to be 88 or 96. And what are you doing with your life? And why are we here? And it's one of my passions, so people can be kind to one another. I think to myself, why are you being negative or not kind to somebody now? You be kind to one another, and because somebody might not be here tomorrow, and it may be us that aren't here. But with Bobby, I wanted to bring Bobby hope, and everybody on the audience hope, because it's hard the second time around.
Yes, it is.
Because you have to.
You lose your speech. You lose your ability to function.
Your function.
Yeah.
But does it do something to your mind, aside from scrambling your mind? Does it do something to your mind where it's like, God, again, like I have to place my energy again?
Yeah, it does. It does. Like just normal physical functions make it harder.
Makes it harder.
Makes it harder.
And we're entertainers, so we're used to being in front of the camera. But it's hard to come out, and thank you for coming, because it's hard to come out when you're not 100% yourself.
Right. I'm not 100% myself, but I can still sing.
And we're gonna sing. That's why I was looking for the lyrics, because me, I came up with a song that we could sing. But we'll wing it. Bobby and I do that well. So today's show is really to bring everybody hope that there is life after a reoccurring stroke. We always have life after a stroke, but there is life after reoccurring stroke, and how to get there. And Cathy's going to tell us a little bit of Cathy, Bobby's wife, who's also a board member, and Bobby's a board member, really to share, what the struggles and what she saw. I think Bobby went to the hospital by himself. Am I correct? You would, because you weren't feeling well?
I went, no.
No, before Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. I went to the VA hospital.
Yeah, by yourself because he wasn't feeling well, which was very wise. But we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about, you know, how we can all gather around and bring Bobby hope, and let him know that we're there, and we're gonna support him as he recovers to the same level once again that he did. Bobby is my singing husband, as Cathy puts it. Bobby and I love to sing together. Everybody thinks we're married. Everybody does think we're married. They do.
Yeah.
When I was performing this Christmas by myself at Preakness Healthcare, I had Bobby and Cathy, and Bobby was Cathy's brother, got a personal concert. I had my phone up. Bobby was live. And I was singing, to 800 people. two different servings. But everybody always said, "Where's your husband? Where's your husband?" I said, "You are correct in one fashion. He is my singing husband, but Cathy calls him my singing husband." So, okay, so we're gonna sing a little bit of "You Got a Friend," and then we're gonna roll out. And we're going to go sit in our seats, and we're going to have a conversation with Cathy, and Judy, of course, is in the desk as well. So you ready?
Ready.
When you're down and troubled, and you need a helping hand, and nothing is going right. Keep your head together and call my name out loud. Soon I'll be knocking at your door. It's probably me. I'm probably screwing up the words. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, oh yeah, to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you've got to do is call, and I'll be there, yeah, yeah, yeah. You ready? You've got a friend. Ain't it good to know you've got a friend? You've got a friend. Yay! We'll be right back.
Got me good in a hope that I just can't diffuse, but I know the tricks up your sleeve. 'Cause you and I used to sing just to pass by the time, and I can't let go without a partial thought to where our song may flow. Some ring away, but the echo of yours seemed to stay. And lately when I listen close, what I hear may be fake. See, you be real now, and I'll be honest, that what we've got here is truly harmonic. And I can search just to hear the same sound play, but why would I when you're standing here right in front of me? Truly harmonic. Oh, you've got me good. It's a concept I just can't refuse, but you had to see through what seemed without flaw. So you may say that this anthem of ours wrong away. Maybe it's true. So when this sound leaves my ear, I can't help but again. Hope that if I sing it out, maybe you'll comprehend. I've been around now, and all is silent. What we've got here is truly harmonic. When you think of me and the lyrics that we used to sing, and take them for then what they appear. 'Cause all along, I'll admit that it's all just a song, but maybe it's more than singing to me. Do we exist if the sound of our music stops playing? 'Cause maybe the next time around things won't be the same without exchange. So you be real now, and I'll be honest, that what we've got here is truly harmonic. And I can search just to hear the same sound play. But why would I when you're standing here right in front of me? Truly harmonic.
Welcome back to ReneMarie Stroke of Luck. This is a family show. As I said before, Bobby Baby Walker, our board member, suffered his fourth stroke after Thanksgiving. And Cathy and Bobby are here to share the struggles and what we're going to do to support Bobby to come back. And one of the things Bobby and I are doing, we're doing a couple Facebook Live performances, because music is the gear that keeps Bobby alive and keeps him with hope. And it doesn't matter what your love is, what your passion is, but when something tragic happens, you have to delve into that to bring yourself hope and to really successfully recover. And that's a major part of recovery, is bringing
Very
hope.
true. Music and memory.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah. So, Jim, are they on? Hi, Bobby and Cathy.
Hey, Renee.
How are you? So, Cathy, Bobby and I were just sharing, I thought it was important to start the show with Bobby. But tell us a little bit about, the story of, give us a brief history about his strokes, his 3 strokes a couple of years ago on his birthday.
Yeah, 2.5 years ago he had 3 strokes, and he wasn't really compliant on his recovery and, taking the best care of him as he could.
But I always say this, and I said this to you, like, if we would have said this prior to his strokes, I would say, well, it is Bobby being Bobby, because Bobby would eat
Whatever.
sugars, prior.
Bobby, you're sweet enough without all that extra sugar.
But, we were just talking to Joe about this. It really is hard to understand how his mind is operating now after 3 strokes. So not in defense of Bobby, but just a little fact. Right, Bobby?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. He
Yeah.
knows, though.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
So anyway, he, day before Thanksgiving, took himself to the hospital at the VA, and he wasn't feeling right. He said he was feeling a little dizzy and just not himself, and he thought he might be having a stroke.
Oh.
So they
So
had...
you knew that, Bob? You thought that?
Yeah.
Were you driving?
Yeah.
And he drove himself to the hospital. And then didn't even call me. Anyway.
Probably figured to go in,
They'll do something for him. He'll get back in the car, and I'll go home.
Well, I said to him, why didn't you call me? Why did you call me? He said, I knew you were busy preparing for tomorrow and stuff. So, but anyway, they kept him, and they took a CAT scan. And they're saying he didn't have a stroke, but yet his speech was slurred. He was having a hard time expressing himself. His gait was not, normal.
Didn't I talk to him on the phone? Didn't you call me to talk to him
I
on the phone?
I might have. So they released him on Friday, and then that Tuesday I went in the hospital.
Yes.
And I was in there for 4 days. And on the 4th day they
What
were doing.
happened to you?
I was in AFib. I had AFib, and it's like this is the 3rd time my heart's been what's it called? Where they shock you back into rhythm. This is the 3rd time. So they had told me someone had to come because they had to move my personal belongings because I wasn't going back in the same room.
Right.
So he showed up that day, and he comes in, and he's not walking right, and his speech again is slurred, and I said, what's the matter? He said, I'm really tired. I think I took the wrong medicine. So I said, well, sit in the chair, take a nap, maybe you'll feel better.
Right.
So they came and got me for my procedure. When I got to the new room, I said to the nurse, can you let my husband know I'm here? And they said, we sent him to the ER.
Wow.
So I said, oh, they said, because he really wasn't responding well, and he wasn't walking well.
Wow.
So
Wow.
they sent him, and he was in Westchester Medical, and they said he did have a stroke. He even went to rehab this time. This is his first time in rehab. He didn't want to go, but I said to him, listen, you've done it your way 3 times. It hasn't worked. Let's do what they say.
Yeah. Plus, he needs to be in a regular routine of rehabilitation,
So
taking the regular medicines on schedule.
Yeah, well, I've been really trying, and what's frustrating is I could say to him, he'll get up and I'll say, go take your insulin, and then 5 minutes later I'll say, did you take your insulin? No. But you got up. I told you to take your insulin.
Do you Bobby? I'm going to ask you. Do you remember to take your insulin? After Cathy tells you. So if you remember, why don't you take it? I'm just curious.
LAZY.
Is it maybe did you forget?
No. No, I just
Lazy.
don't take it.
And it's very frustrating for me. As his caregiver, it's just so hard. December was a really hard month for me,
I'm sure.
He with his stroke, with my AFib, and then right before Christmas, my cap came off, and I was going crazy. And I had to talk myself down.
Yeah.
Because
it's hard for
I'm
you.
not Superwoman.
Yeah.
And I have to realize that. I can't do it all.
Well, you need a caregiver.
I
And
can't-
Bobby can't caregive for you because
Right.
of his condition.
Right.
So who takes care of you?
My brother sometimes.
Yeah.
But
He's a good guy.
he is a very good guy. I had to realize that, what's important here. I love Christmas. My Christmas tree never got up. I just was I would get home and I just didn't have it in me to because I was exhausted.
Right.
And I said, what's the worst? You don't have a Christmas tree. What's the big deal? Let it go.
You have your husband, you have your
Yeah.
brother, and you have your
Exactly.
health. Yeah. And that's the most important.
And then my tooth, and I said, all right, so,
Things come in 3. Your 3 is done.
yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. So things are looking up. I'm getting a temporary thing on the 11th. We're going on a cruise.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Where are you going?
We're going to the Cayman Islands and Cozumel.
And what ship?
Norwegian Dawn.
Oh, you're going to love it. I've been on that ship.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, yes.
So we also decided, because of my mobility problems and Bobby with his balance, because he fell the other day, they want him to use a walker. He won't use a walker, and...
Well, at least he uses a cane, though.
Yeah, no, exactly. But he fell the other day because he lost his balance. So on the ship, we're both getting scooters.
Oh, excellent. You're going to... You guys could have a race. I'll get there first, Cathy.
Because who needs to worry about him falling? And, me, by the time I walk to the dining room, I'd be exhausted.
So you can get a scooter before you actually get on?
They actually will have it in the room.
Okay, so just be careful boarding.
Yeah. So they will actually have it in the room.
When are you leaving?
The cruise sets the 16th and comes back on the 21st. It's a 5-day cruise.
Very nice.
But we're going, it's from Tampa, but we're going down a little early. I have a friend down there who
that's so
does
good.
karaoke, and I'm
Oh,
hoping,
my God.
yeah, I'm hoping that
Perfect.
she has a show while we're there.
Make a
So,
show.
Yeah, I'm trying.
that's so
I'm trying to
fantastic.
see. So
Jim, could you put
You know.
Judy and everybody on the camera? Thanks. I just
So,
because. Yeah, so
but,
it's funny that Bobby karaoke is like your.
And they have that on the ship, too.
mm-hmm.
Oh, they do.
Oh, definitely.
I know.
Definitely.
One day we'll all go on a cruise together.
Oh,
There you go.
write that down and sign it.
But
I'm waiting.
I said
I'm
one
waiting.
day.
something you said in the first segment was that you really need to make time for yourself, and
Yes,
it's
Renee.
so
But
important.
I don't. People tell me that all the time. But the truth is, I do make time for myself. But I schedule myself for around what is important to me. That's important to me. My family's important to me.
Okay, but
my foundation's important
I
to
got
me.
it. We'll take your family, too.
No, but I'm just saying. So because I don't share with everybody, I'm staying home tonight and not doing anything, and I'm relaxing. I just don't share.
I don't know if you're relaxing. I think you got the...
her brain,
the,
her wheels
I
are
think
going.
She's got
My
the
laptop,
computer
yes,
out,
yeah.
the laptop, and she's working.
But I like to do things on my time, like on my my schedule. That doesn't mean that I'm stressing about it. I'm just like working through it.
Okay,
and
so look at your schedule, pick a date, and we'll all go.
No, not for a little bit.
The other day, my brother and I went shopping, and we were gone. And that's another thing that happened to me in December.
What?
I was driving, and my wheel came off my car.
I know.
Your wheel?
My wheel came off the car. But on that day, we had left my husband. We were only going to be gone for like maybe an hour and a half. But then that happened, so we were going a little longer. I get home, and this one went into this little tin
Yes,
of those Dutch butter cookies.
heard about
and ate
that.
half the tin. And I'm like, what? Did you take your insulin at least? No.
Well, you gotta share with,
But I had my cookies.
share with the audience that Bobby is a diabetic.
Yes, he's a diabetic, and he got up in the middle of the night last night and was gone for like a couple of hours. So he was sitting in the chair. So when he came back to bed, I said, "What did you eat that you weren't supposed to?" Ice cream.
Bobby, your sugar has really. What's the highest it's ever been?
500 and...
Oh, my.
No, the other day it was 555.
Oh.
Yeah, but
What's the
since,
sugar level supposed to be?
Anywhere between 80 and 120
Oh my God.
is normal.
Oh my God.
hmm And his A1C, any diabetic, their A1C should be 7 or below. His is like 13.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Bobby.
Oh my gosh. Bobby, what does your day consist of now? Do you do therapy? What's your days consist of?
Sometimes it consists of therapy, and that's all.
Are you tired after the therapy?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'm sure. Because it's more mental than it is
That's
physical.
true.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we talk about energy and we talk about like really hard work, I remember like looking and like having to figure out how to do or say or to do something, and it takes a lot. It drains you.
Yeah, and plus he thinks too much. Like he really does. Like he gets exhausted from thinking about doing something. Like he's
Yeah, but
funny.
you know, the reason I think you have to have something to keep you going, and his visions and his aspirations for his music and starting a band, which we spoke about, Bobby, you know, that he wanted me to be a part of. That's a part of what drives him to at least get better. For the
Right.
hope to,
And I understand that, but I also tell him that if he's got to take care of himself, because if he doesn't, he can't take care of anything else.
Right.
You know, nothing else will fall in place.
Yeah.
You know, he's the priority. He is, you know, and it's just very hard. And watching him, it's frustrating, because while he was in rehab, I overhauled my bedrooms. I like said, he's not here to say, don't throw that out, or I might need that. And so I did a whole overhaul. And I told him, no eating in the bedroom, and don't be on my side of the bed. Because he would be on my side of the bed eating, and he'd make a mess. And my side is messy.
dramas.
Yeah, my side is messy, and his isn't.
Well, that stands to reason. Why would you mess up? Bob,
So,
why would you mess up your side?
Yesterday we went to Costco, and we bought suitcases for the trip and stuff, and he helped my brother take things out. And by the time I got in the house, I parked the car, I come in, and I'm like doing things, and then I go in, and he's there eating on the bed with soda in his hand, and I'm like, what did I tell you? Like,
One thing that you have to think about, Cathy, is don't let Bobby loose in the main food area where he will be eating all that cake and cookies and ice cream.
gotta put like those Blakey locks.
So,
You gotta keep an eye on that.
he had finished his food, and he just had
We're
his drink in
busting
his
you,
hand,
Bobby.
and he drops the soda right on the floor. Now I'm about to get crazy, but then I have to remember he's weak in his left hand.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he just
I
carried.
always drop things at
He
my right hand.
carried the
And I get so mad at myself.
and I was like about to get crazy, but I said, and then he just sits there, and I'm like, oh, don't get up and get a towel or anything, you know. And he laughs at me. He laughs at me.
I mean, it already fell, so why should I be rushing to get a towel?
Because I look like a dog in that room.
You guys
Which
are funny.
stands to reason why he's on your side.
But yeah, so I have to like hold myself back, because I have to remember that there are challenges, and
Yeah.
you know, my first reaction is to be like,
Yeah.
and I have to catch myself,
Yeah.
you know, and that's hard.
Bobby, Joe, remember Joe who gave us the keyboard for the first 3 years to do the telethon? He was the guest. Did you see him? You was the guest. He was a guest on our show prior to this. You probably didn't put the connection together, but he's the gentleman that lent us the keyboard for the first 3 shows.
The 3 telethons.
Telethons, I'm sorry. And he does Reiki now. You should really try Reiki. Reiki. It's almost it's just it's like a massage, but you lay, and he does healing energy, and they see he's laughing.
You do want more energy, right?
Right,
Yeah.
you get,
Okay.
but just if I tell you, maybe that'll help you with your visions and your strength, so that you could sing better. And because we both know that your diaphragm has a lot to do with the singing, right? Because I remember after my stroke for 2 years, I couldn't sing. That was my stroke didn't even bother me. That was devastating to me that I couldn't sing, because singing is like, part of me. It's Bobby and I just love to sing. So, will you go?
To Reiki?
Yeah.
Yes. Or they could come to you.
Joe can't go to him.
No, but he could get a Reiki somebody who does it in
Yeah,
your
but
area.
I mean, I think it's important that my personal feeling is that somebody like, you can't just go out and get anybody for Reiki. It's like you can't.
You
go
have
out
to
and get
research it on.
You can't go
on
any. You have to have people that recommend.
You
the
could
people
talk to all your
that
family
you trust,
doctor.
because the trust is really a big part of the healing process. That you trust somebody that
The family
when you're
doctor
laying
would know
down.
somebody.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, consider
But it's
it.
also not going to work if you don't think it's going to work. You know, it's
Well, we were talking to Joe about that. We were talking about that, and it does work, but not to the fullest potential. It does work because the Reikis, the energies have its own mind. But if Bobby's putting up a block for it, it's not going to.
Think
fully-
positive, Bobby.
fully
It's a
help
good idea.
But I mean, all I'm trying to do is like, because that's a way that I've learned in my life that we could do more good for ourselves being still and using our inner energy rather than going out and trying to do all the hard work. And that is a part of Reiki, is to be in the stillness, in the silence. And you do have to set your mind, if you're not going to even believe in it, you have to not think about anything, like sing in your brain, like sing your song. See yourself in a big concert with me.
very important.
Very
I'm all
important.
for that.
Well, Joe is going to play.
Carnegie Hall.
Yeah,
How's
oh
that
my
sound?
God. That is one of my dreams, to play at Carnegie Hall.
So you got to get well.
I just went to Carnegie Hall about a little while ago, but I love it because it's a small.
Didn't you sit near the front?
No, not at
I
Carnegie
thought you.
Hall.
I thought you
No,
did.
I went with Michelle.
I thought you got seats that were close.
Oh my God, Carnegie Hall. Oh my God, it's such a beautiful setting, beautiful venue, beautiful. We got to perform there.
And how do you get there?
It's in New York.
Right.
Oh. Practice? I'm always practicing. Bobby and I practice, but I like to practice live. I like to practice live on
it's a
Facebook.
good idea.
Because, you have the audience, you have them engaging. It's not like you're just sitting there singing a song, You got like people
Yes.
like, oh, yeah.
And you're so multi-talented.
Oh, thank you. So, so what's the next step for Bobby, Cathy?
He just saw his neurologist at the VA, and I was complaining because the VA said he didn't have a stroke, and obviously he did, and so she was saying that
Did they do a CAT
sometimes
scan when you went to the
they
VA?
did, but she was trying to tell me that sometimes you can't see it on the CAT scan right away. It might be the next day or the day after.
I don't understand that.
So neither did I.
Yeah.
But this is what she was telling me, and
Then I would say I want an MRI immediately.
he can't have one because of his pacemaker.
Oh. I know about that.
Yeah. So they did. He's going Friday for the CAT scan. She's going to see, if there's any changes. They were also going to do one of his cervical spine because he's having other issues that could be contributed to something that happened lower,
Oh, that's awesome.
like in the brainstem.
Yeah, that's good that they're looking for that.
Yeah. So,
Because there has to be, that's something important to share with everybody. There has to be a reason for the diagnosis. Yeah, you have a stroke. Someone could be diagnosed as a stroke, but why did you have that stroke?
That's
like
true.
we always assumed it was your diabetes, but maybe it's not your diabetes. Maybe there's a lingering, a more prevalent factor, and that's important for everybody
Yeah.
to know. To find out.
Right.
To find out, and if that doctor
Right.
doesn't know, go to another doctor. The way Bobby was blessed to actually go see you in the hospital because it was another whole doctor.
That's true.
Another whole
Hospital.
hospital.
Yeah. So, and they sent you to the ER.
It's a God thing. They sent him.
They kept me there for 5 days, and then they switched me to
A rehab.
rehab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which yeah.
I
Could have been a
stayed there
totally
for 5
different-
days.
20 days.
Yeah, 5 days.
Could have been a totally
20
different.
days.
You were there 4 weeks. 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
If he didn't come to the hospital, it could have been a totally different outcome.
Absolutely.
So what's the next on your? Are you okay?
Am I okay? Yes, I'm okay. And as soon as I get my tooth, I'll be even better.
She'll be happy on that cruise. Send us photos. You
I
know.
will. But, you know.
I don't know if you're going to
it's
have
just-
trouble with the cell phone on the
Sometimes
cruise.
they have internet now and stuff.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, but
even
they
care.
charge you a
They
lot.
do. They charge you for everything. Like it's.
And if you leave your phone the way it is, you're going to get roaming charges.
Well, you're,
So
Judy,
you got to be really
you're
careful.
talking me less and less out of going on a cruise.
You're going to relax.
No.
You're not going to be on the phone. When you get to port, you can be on the phone all you want.
One time, my children went for the first time to Block Island, and I
Oh, I love it
I had
there.
first gotten separated from their father, and he was taking them to Block Island because the family had a house there. And I found a helicopter driver, and I said, if I need to get to Block Island, because I have to always be able to get to my kids if something happens. Like, it's just, it's, you know,
It's a mother thing.
it's a mother thing.
Yes.
It's it's like,
Block Island is really nice. That
Where
would be
is
an
Block
idea.
Island?
Block Island is you go to Riverhead and you can take a ferry to Block Island. And if you stay in one of the hotels, they're back in the 20s.
Oh, really?
The hotels, the last time I was there, there's no phones, no TVs, no.
wow. Wow.
But it's a beautiful island and it's worth seeing.
No, I would go because
You could
Yeah.
could stay over in a hotel one night, or you could go back the same day. But it's too much traveling. You might as well stay over.
I'll get one of those jet skis so I can make sure I can get back. Nobody else can get me back. I'll get on a jet ski.
I could see that.
You're funny.
One time,
I could
my
see.
nephew was really sick. He had inflammation in his lungs, and he was sick. He was so sick. He was many years ago, and we had a major snowstorm,
Oh,
major blizzard, and I went to see him anyway. I got in the car. I didn't care what was going to take for me to get to the hospital.
how far was it?
It was in New Township in
New Jersey?
No, it was in New York State. Took me on a regular day. It took me 40 minutes to get there.
So it took 2 or 3 hours.
It must have. I don't even know. But I was like, I was praying the whole time because I'm slipping and sliding. But I'm strange like that. Jim, wouldn't you do that for your daughter?
I drove to Albany for my daughter when she was in school there, and it was a major snowstorm, and I went in roads I never even took before because I had to go off the highway when it closed, and it literally took, it was a 3.5 hour trip. It took me 7 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you do what you got. Like you just do what you got to do for your family. You just
It was
do
a
what you got
crazy
to do.
drive.
And I
I
know.
can't believe I made it.
I know. My nephew too. My nephew too. I was.
I would have died of a panic attack.
No. You know what? If you had to get there, you wouldn't have thought about it until you got there. Then you said, "What did I do? How am I going to get back?" So, well, Bobby, we're going to have a Facebook concert, me and you, a couple, so that we could enjoy singing. And maybe we'll do it next weekend since we don't have a show. Oh, where are you guys going to be?
Well, we leave on Monday.
Oh,
so
on Monday.
Next
So you have to
weekend's
come
gonna be
next week.
hard. Maybe during the week,
During
but
the
the
week.
weekend
During the
is
week.
going to be
Yes, during
hard.
During the week. We could do it at 8 o'clock after my Blakey gets picked up and I get into the... Yeah, so let's plan next week. So we can get his vocals practiced for when you go to Florida to karaoke.
And Kathy, when you're on the ship, make sure you take video of Bobby
Yes.
singing on the ship.
What do you
At
think
the
about?
karaoke. On the ship.
13th. We leave. So isn't that next week?
No, the week from Monday.
Not tomorrow, but the following.
You're going to be on the cruise on my birthday.
Nice.
They're celebrating your
Celebrating my
birthday
birthday.
on the
Happy
cruise.
birthday, Renee! The 15th is my birthday. So we'll have a
And you're
birthday
getting a
party.
year-
You'll come to my house. We'll have a birthday party prior,
Yeah.
and we'll sing.
And you're getting a year younger, right?
Yes, yes. So we're gonna help you to, you'll do fine. You'll do fine. You have Cathy.
Yeah.
Kathy's your angel.
They say that a caregiver is an angel on earth.
Yeah.
You married an angel.
Yes. So we're gonna have to go because is Pam coming in?
Well,
She's not coming in. Okay. So that can we sing a little bit? Can we sing a little bit? Woo! What did she take the week off?
She went to a charity race or something like that. Run.
Is Pamela engaged?
She
Yes.
is now.
Congratulations! I saw that on Facebook.
Yes.
Pam! Congratulations!
Congratulations,
That's
Pam.
awesome. That is so exciting for her. I'm happy. But I was gonna say she really rocks it. She does. She
Do a
just
lot.
she does a lot. She keeps busy. She
She doesn't sleep. She just
Well, she
24
enjoys
hours.
life. She
she's
enjoys life.
moving.
She travels. She does comedy now. She's getting engaged. She's like
She's an attorney.
She took her life
Don't
and she
do
just
it.
switched it. I'm really proud of her. She's doing a great thing. She's showing women that you get a divorce and that's it's sad, but move on in life. Life's
It's like
about
a
living.
rebirth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
So-
the way you got to look at it.
Bobby, let's sing I Believe in Music, okay? And I'll start. I can just sit around making music all day long. As long as I'm making my music, I can't do nobody wrong. And who knows, maybe someday I'll come up with a song that makes people want to stop the fussing and fighting just long enough to sing along. Let's go. I believe in music, and I believe in love. People are love, and love is music, if you know what I mean. Jim, can you put us all on? And people who believe in music are the happiest people I've ever seen. So clap your hand, stomp your feet, and shake your tambourine. Lift your voices to the sky. God loves it when you sing. Let's go. I believe in music, and I believe in love. I believe in music. Lord knows that I believe in love. One more verse. Music is a universal language, and love is the key to find brotherhood, peace, and understanding, and living in harmony. So take your brother by the hand and sing along with me. Find out what it really means to be young and rich and free. Let's go. I believe in music, and I believe in love. One more time. I believe in music. Lord knows that I believe in love. God bless everybody. Let's blow our kisses. 1, 2, 3. Bye, everybody. See you in 2 weeks. On January 19th, we'll be back. 2 weeks. Bye.
Yay.
Mi amor, yo no entiendo por qué tú más que nadie sabes qué pasó en mi vida. Yo no sé qué tú piensas. quejaré. Yo no sé lo que estoy perdiendo. Yo no sé lo que va a pasar. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti. No me puedes oír llorar. El día que caminaste por la puerta, todas las memorias fueron. Mi corazón está vacío, como si tuviera ayer. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti. Mi corazón está sufriendo. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti. No me puedes oír llorar. Usted está en mi sueño por la noche. Por favor, no peleemos. Y es tan difícil para mí y para ti. Yo, ¿qué puedo hacer? No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti. Mi corazón está sufriendo. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti. No me puedes oír llorar. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti. Mi corazón está sufriendo. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti. No me puedes oír, no me puedes escuchar. No me puedes escuchar llorar, llorar. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti. Mi corazón está sufriendo. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti. No me puedes oír
conversation, they're all dead. The lines cut off inside my head. I left here like a broken man with no idea of where I stand.